às mais velhas, aos mais velhos, a todos e todas que pavimentaram e percorreram as águas, né, dessa travessia para permitir essa distribuição da nossa gente, da nossa cultura, do nosso conhecimento, para que a gente continuasse com esse desejo de circular, de se reencontrar. Eu tenho algumas palavras. Agora, Cora, já tá o som bom?
Yeah. Can you hear the sound of the Cora now?
Let's see if we can hear the sound.
Okay. Do you love that?
Yes, I love it. It's the sounds of the sound of mother, maybe probably the sound of womb. Hi, Seydou.
So we're gonna play another one which means peace. Kaira. We play Kaira, which means peace. Just to make peace among all of us. Just one sec.
Okay. The first word of our meeting is ritual, and the Kora comes with this feeling. The sounds comes with this feeling of the ritual are beginning when the Kora starts to play. So
okay.
There are a special rhythm that you guys play when you start a meeting or you start a moment. There are special.
For special event, the one we are going to play now, we play that in a special event to begin any event. That's Kaira. Kaira is to make peace. Yeah, it means Kaira in Bambara means peace. Okay, that's Kyra. So now we can start because we are in peace.
Yes, it's pretty important to begin with peace. It's extremely necessary, extremamente necessário começar com paz, because here we who lives in diaspora, sometimes we feel we feel that we must fight every time.
Yeah.
It's not a feeling, it's a way of life, because we need to fight to survive and we need to fight to walk through. But it's pretty important to be reminded that to start to begin something, we need the peace. And we can transmit the peace with us, with each other. And it's amazing when we hear the Kyra. Now I know. I just met this rhythm, this song Kyra. It's express a feeling that we can stay in peace together. It's pretty important. I would like to say that we here, this side of the Atlantic, there are many of us that are waiting for a moment that we can make a return, just because we never agreed that we are just bad stuff, bad history. And one of these one of the ways that we've learned that we are powerful, that we are good, it's about specifically characteristic of our culture, that is music. And I would like that you could return or repeat that what you Seydou told about the culture, and if you can extend it to explain a little bit more about music, what music makes for our lives.
Good. You know, Gisela, we all say that music is life. Music is a medication. And every culture has its own music, which is expressing the feelings, the vision of that ethnic group or of that culture. So nobody in this world can say, I don't like music at all. Nobody can say that. You may say, I don't like jazz music. You may say, I don't like the rock and roll music. You may say, I don't like what your dance is, the dance you do, flamenco, or the flamenco. You may say, I don't like flamenco, but you would never ever say, I don't like music at all. So music is like part of the human being's life. It's the most important part of the human being's life. Without music, imagine one world during 1 second, or even take 30 seconds in this world without music, what the world would be. It would be a very sad place, a dying place, you know. It's the place which is dying out, you know. So we are here. Whenever you guys just understand the sound of this kora, I know the feeling all of you have. Even if you don't understand what is the meaning. But I'm going to explain you Kaira. Kaira was created in Mali during the Independence Day, the Malian Independence Day. So there was a griot association. Griot is part of Nyamakala. Okay, when you talk about Nyamakala, the griots are part of the Nyamakala class because the Nyamakala is a social class. You know, the Nyamakala are composed of the griots, of the Fune, okay, of the Garanke, of the blacksmith, the forgeron, okay. We call them Numu in Bambara. So, but each of them has a specific role in the society. The griot is supposed to be the peacemaker, you know. And when two families are into trouble, when there is tension in between two families, the griots are here to settle down the problems between people in the society, in the communities. They also are the people to do marriages. If I want to marry Caesar, I send my griot to Caesar's parents to bring the colonel. Okay, the family, the Dembélé family want to send me to ask, okay, your daughter, you know, to marry to their son, Seydou Dembélé. That's what my griot called to stay to your parents. That's how griots do. And also when there is a naming ceremony, the griots are like the messengers. They go from family to family and say, okay, Seydou Dembélé's family has a new baby and the naming ceremony is the next week. And he will do that in the whole community to inform everybody. So he's like a messenger, a peacemaker, a messenger, and also he has the power of speech. You know, when he tells me the story of my ancestors, just to remind me the heroism my ancestors did in the past, if I don't do that, I don't have to be a wicked person. I don't have to be a bad person. I always have to go in the right way, the right to do things in the right way, to do good things, not to do bad things. You know, if my ancestor has been warriors, and I'm not supposed to be afraid of any enemies. I have to be, you know, facing the enemies, to fight against the enemies for the well-being of my communities. If my ancestors fought against the enemies for the well-being of the community, I have to do that. So the griots are here just to strengthen me, telling me the story of my ancestors, just to make me brave, more brave, you know, to face any dangers coming toward my community, so that I can defend my community in the braveness. So that's the roles of the griot. So Kaira was created, you know, by those griots, you know, during the colonial period, at the very at the end of the colonial period and the beginning of the Independence Day, just to praise the peace in the communities. You know, when Kaira Association came, they always played this song just to praise and call on for peace, you know. So that's why it is very important to any Malian musician, especially the kora players, to go to any event they go, the first song they're going to play is Kaira, to call on for peace and to invite everybody to make peace and to praise for peace in that event. I'm praying peace and love in this event, and from the beginning until the end.
What a such compromise to be a person who are responsible to make peace, to announce a new child, to make a wedding. And you told many times the word griot. And in this context, I was reading about the word jelly.
Yes.
And
jelly is the Bambara word for griot. Griot is French or English, but the Bambara word for griot is jelly.
So it's better say jelly.
Okay, let's say jelly. Okay, jelly.
Am I right? Am I right in the accent, jelly?
Yeah, jelly. Yeah, that's the right accent. Yes, that's the right pronunciation. Yeah.
Yeah, I just learned about it. I here in Brazil, we received the information. Sorry, we received this information about the griots. And when we just when I just started to read and to know you guys more, now I understand what is jelly, what it really means. So I would like to know, are you a jelly?
No, I am not a jelly. I am a noble. I am from the noble class. I am from my ancestor is one of the biggest warriors of Sunjata Keita in the Empire of Mali, which is Tiramakan. Tiramakan was one of the generals of Sunjata Keita during the empire, during his reign in the empire of Mali, of Mande Empire. Let's say Mande Empire, because at that time Mali didn't exist, and that empire included Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea-Conakry, and part of Niger and Cote d'Ivoire. It was so large, and Sunjata Keita was the king. You know, he was the chief. He was the king of that the biggest empire. And I'm from one of his generals, whose name was Tiramakan Traore.
So nice. And but to you to stay in Mali right now, for you to say Mali right now, are you in this place, in this town, just because of the École de Musique, or you were born around there you are?
I was born in a village. My village, the village where I was born is at 182 kilometers from Bamako, the capital city of Mali. I am now in Bamako, where is the capital city. But I was born, and part of my childhood, I spent it in that village. I came in Bamako when I was 16 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I just would like to know a little bit more about you. It's important to know about the personalities that we are speaking, because we know that. It's just because the trajectory that we walk, that we construct, it's pretty important, because you went to Bamako with 16 for stud, or because your family moved. Why?
No, I came to Bamako for the studies, for the school, because I went to school. The primary school is in the village, but there was no college in the village. When I was graduated from the fundamental school, I had to go to the college. So as there is no college in the village, I came to Bamako to carry on my studies at the college. And after that, I went to the university and all that in Bamako. And when I finished up with my studies, I started teaching English sometimes before getting married. And then I got connected to Playing for Chance Foundation, for which I'm working now. So that's why I can't go back to the village. I am married in Bamako. I have children in Bamako, and my job is in Bamako. That's why.
Good to know. And in this context too, the music or the other arts, when you started to play or to work with music, was always immersed in the music, or it came in another moment of your life?
I can say that I was born in music because you know the hunter. Okay, there is a musician who plays for the hunters. You know that? He plays something similar to the kora, but it is not kora, it's donsongoni. Have you ever heard about donsongoni? That's the kora for the hunters. Okay, that's the kora for the hunters. And my father played that instrument. Now my brother is playing that instrument. And my mother sang, you know, when my father played that instrument. And I was very little. I was like, I was born in that, you know. So to say, I didn't come into music by random. I was born like that. I have been always listening to that instrument and very impressed by it. Whenever my dad played that, even if I was sleeping, I just woke up. My father noticed that before they sent me to school. I went to school when I was 7. There is no kindergarten in the village, no electricity, no clean water. We were in a very small village, and the school was in the big village nearby the small village I was born. So my parents took me to that village with a lamp, a petrol lamp. Do you know the petrol lamp?
Sorry, the bitter lamp?
Yes, that's something which gives light. You put petrol on it or oil, and you put light. Okay, so that's what I used when I was so young at the fundamental school to learn my lessons. And my dad always played that before they sent me to that school. And I left my parents also to go to that village to stay with some relatives when I was very young, when I was at the age of 7. And I sent them come back to the parents until the Christmas holidays or the Easter holidays or the big vacations. But I always saw my father playing that and my mother singing.
Now your mother sings.
Yes.
A singer and a player at home.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because of the school, I did not come up to play that instrument because my parents were so devoted to the school. They want me to go to school to study instead of being at home and going to the field with them, doing hard works, you know. And I'm lucky because I'm the only child who has been successful at school. All the other children failed because they thought that the school was not necessary. Because that was the the white man culture. So they say it's not necessary for black kids to go to school.
Yes, in this the question is about the école de musique. Why you just think it's important to build the école de musique then?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it's pretty interesting. Two things. I have this,
Okay.
I have this idea, and I would like to hear a little bit more the kora. But
okay.
just one thing is just because the école de musique, it's pretty important for the context of the community. And after you play, I would like to talk a little bit more about the école de musique. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
So let's hear a little bit.
Okay, the song we're gonna play means Jarabi. As we play the peace song, we're gonna also play a love song because peace goes with love. We always say peace and love. So Jarabi means love, or it means love in general, because we all have to love each other as human beings. Yes, so Jarabi for you. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Very, very nice. I must confess that I was playing in my leg, like my leg was a drum. I'm a drummer. I play drums, and
Are you a drummer? You practice? Oh, good.
I was accompanying playing here.
Okay. Everybody.
And to play about love. The love calls us to play together.
Yeah. They go together. Okay. I forgot to introduce you to the kora player. He's one of the great students at the École de Musique de Kirina. Okay, his name is Boubacar Bouem, and we opened the school. Now I'm going to I start by him to talk about a music school. So Kirina school has been opened in October in 2010. And Boubacar Game was one of the first students, of the school. Now he advanced. He's one of the most advanced kora students at the school. We went with him in Ghana for a festival, and we just left Morocco for another festival. And maybe later on, I can forward you some of the videos of those performances. So to talk about the music school, now we are giving free music education to more than 170 students. And we are programs like Kora, Djembe with a percussion, is a drum, okay? And balafon, the balafon is the xylophone, okay? The wooden xylophone we have, okay? And we have the Mande, the Mande balafon, the balafon from Mande, okay, from our ancestors. Okay, the first balafon player in that history who was very well known is Bala Fasege Kuyate, who is another jelly. He was a jelly of, Sumanguru Kante, in the empire or for Soso Empire. And that's Bala, that balafon is today kept in part of Guinea-Conakry in Nyagasola, which is called the Soso Bala. Okay, so we have Soso Bala at the music school. We're teaching Bala, and we're teaching talking drum, that small drum. Okay, we're teaching that also, and we're teaching guitar. We're teaching guitar and also the African dance. We're teaching dance. We have dance students, and also I give English classes and French classes to the students because we are connected to more programs. Music schools, Playing for Change Foundation is supporting. Those people are French and English-speaking countries. So we're teaching the kids how to speak English and French. Yes, that's a national work we can do. Now, Boubacar and many other students are very advanced, and we have a band. Now we have a band in Kirina. Maybe for the next edition of Nyamakala, we're gonna take that band to Brazil, and you will see how good and how powerful the African music is.
And so anybody can learn, can study in the École de Musique, or their age that you...
Good. Anybody can come to attend the music school, and all the programs are free. We are giving free musical education. Nobody pays 1 cent to come to take classes. And anybody, no difference of age, no restrictions of age. You can be 15 years old, you can be 7 years old, you can be 8 years old, 10 years old, or even 40 years old. If you want to learn music, we are open for you, So, because we know that many students fail at school and they don't know what to do. And many of them call when they go online and see the music school, they call me. They say, hey, how can you do to come to school to take some kora lessons or guitar lessons or drum lessons? I say, come, everything is free. And no matter how old you are, we are here for everybody. So the school is open for everybody. Yes.
Pretty important to know that I'm not too old to participate of the class.
No, you are not too old. You are not too old to take any classes, Now, especially now we are families. So we usually charge tourist people, those people who want to come and steal our culture. If they come, like the other skin mind, I don't want to tell about it.
I understand. I can understand.
I would like those people to pay.
Nice, nice. So, do you have a calendar of festivities that are special moments during the year that you have
Yes.
a special?
Yes, we did a festival last year, which is the festival of African and international music. You know, um, that happened. The first edition happened last year, but as you know, the COVID situation, has broken all the cultural projects. So we are trying to prepare it this year again. And maybe we didn't fix any date yet, but I will let you know. And it might be during December, next December or January. Nothing is fixed yet, but we are working on it. And if we fix the date, it will be every year we're gonna do that festival. Maybe one year we can invite you guys to come and join us, like you won't invite us to Nyamakala festival. So Nyamakala Festival will be partner to the Festival of Music and African International Music in Kirina.
Interesting. And I always think about to take care of all this knowledge, all this information. It's a important important movement. And okay. I already know that you are Playing for Change Foundation. Yeah. And but I don't know, how do you need to work to movement financially, specifically speaking, that it's easy to pay the bills, it's easy to keep the calling, or you guys need more attention. It's easy to build more spaces, or to travel with the kids, to stay in another festivals. How you are incentivized to keep working?
Thank you for that question. That's a very good and very important question. And for now, we are supported by Playing for Chance Foundation, 100% supported by Playing for Chance Foundation. Of course, some associations do some donations sometimes, like Gibson House gave us some guitars, some acoustic guitars. And there is another association in France, which is named Locala. They gave us a drum set, they gave us a drum set. So very few associations like that give donations, but the main support is coming from Playing for Chance. My salary, Playing for Chance is paying all the teachers every month, since 2010 up to now, and Playing for Chance is paying all the teachers and paying all the equipments we have, at the school. Playing for Chance is paying all those things. And when there is a festival, we take the kids, the students for the company which invites us for the festival pays our tickets and take the hotel fees and the food, room and board and food, transportation and everything. So that company pays for that. And also the money we pay for the kids. So the company which invites us will take care of all those fees, But the rest, all the other charges at school are supported by Playing for Chance Foundation. Yes.
Such important support. It's nice. So I would like to know if somebody here that are watching us have any question. But while they think about a question, I would like to hear a little bit more, Cobra. It's possible?
Okay, no problem.
Oh, Cora, if you guys have another instrument, there's no problem to play too. But the kora is it's an instrument for the moment.
We are here for you, and we have much time. I prepared this meeting. Okay, this song is Keme Burama, and also Keme Burama was a hero. You know, he was a warrior, a hero of. Did you hear about Samori Toure? No. Okay.
Never heard.
Okay, Keme Brahma was a hero, a warrior. So the jelly, like I told you, the jelly is a person in the community which is always reminding the children of the community to the brave actions the ancestors, accomplished. So they always praise, song. They sing songs just to praise, to remind you and be brave like your ancestors have been. So this song was dedicated to Keme Brahma because he was a hero. And you and I, we are all heroes here because we are, an ambition. We just want to get united through our cultures, through music. So Keme Brahma for you. Okay, that's Keme Burama for you.
Thanks for the krama. Am I right, krama?
Keme Burama, Keme Burama.
Keme kurama.
Yes,
It's also a question that's linguistic barrier. It's a movement that we must improve a little bit more. This is a question that Mercedes brought to us about the name, and you already told, and she was making a relation with the melody, but and she asked what the lyric was talking about, because you introduced that it was talking about a warrior, but the melody don't sound like a war, and what the lyric and the rhythm means.
Yeah, the lyric means, like I told you, it's just praising Keme Burama for the heroic actions, he did. And it may be dedicated to any other person who, did actions like Keme Burama. It's just for heroes. Like I told you, we are heroes. So this song is not only dedicated to, it's of course dedicated to Keme Burama at the origin, but now it can be dedicated to all the heroes, all the bright persons, all the persons who are doing good actions, to do to make improvement of human beings' life, in any place we are like human beings. You see what I'm saying?
Thanks. The other question that Mercedes brought, it's about the financials that the college receives. As you mentioned, the most part, the principal part came from the foundation, the Play for Change Foundation. And she wants to know, I don't know if I'm right, but she wants to know what is the principal investment of Mali for the music. They invest in which type of arts?
Yeah, you want to know if the Malian government, what principal financial action the Malian government is doing for the music school?
Yes, exactly. And in what they invest?
Yeah, I'm very sorry to tell you that, but the Malian government is not giving 1 cent for the activities at the music school in Kirina. And of course, the Malian government has a musical institute. There is the National Institute of Arts, where there is the music section, the music branch, and also many other arts. The government is taking care of that. And there is also the Higher Institute of Art, which is the Conservatory of Mali. Those two institutes are taken care of by the Malian government. But this one, we are humanitarians, but the Malian government doesn't give anything to support the music school in Kirina.
Jazz is the big deal, the big context of.
Still, sometimes that's what I say. If the politicians, the world political leaders could understand the importance of music, they would exchange the weapons, to make peace. They would exchange the weapons to the musical instruments. They would send all the soldiers to the music schools, because everywhere you go to play music, nobody will tell you to stop. And the music has no border. When we are musicians, we get friends. So the whole population, the world population would be friends if we were all playing music. But the political leaders are spending a lot of money in the nuclear weapons to the, to the weapons which are killing people to make peace. Music doesn't kill anybody to make peace. Music makes everybody happy to make peace. The musical notes will never kill anybody, but the bullets from the weapon will kill innocent people in the world to make peace. That's so-called peace. That's not peace that you're just killing innocent people to make peace. Just very unfair. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I'm calling on the world politicians just to invest a little bit in the culture, in the music, to make peace in this world. But many politicians, in many countries, you will see the politicians are busy, just to stay in office or just to invest in war, different war. There is war here. They're gonna send a lot of soldiers and a lot of weapons and a lot of equipment just to keep peace. That's not peacekeeping, because you go to kill somebody to make peace. Musicians will never kill anybody to make peace. They will make everybody happy to make peace.
It's a sad conclusion that I'm agreeing here that we face the same, exactly the same here. The strategy is to keep us fighting and killing each other. Without investing in this area that is pretty important.
Yeah.
And not important. It's not a good word. It's structural.
Yeah. Yeah.
The culture to keep the culture and to keep it the healthy culture. Exactly. And to keep us healthy, it's a strategy that we must to make by ourselves, asking for some investments. Yeah. And talking about health, As a nurse that I am too, I was thinking about. I would like to know how do you they call it the music spend the moment of the pandemic. How was it for you guys? The COVID-19 killed many of you guys, or it was possible to keep working?
We were closed because at the very beginning, Africa was not affected by this COVID, like the European countries and the American countries, like you guys there. But although the rates of the contaminated people was lower than anywhere in the planet, our authorities took some measures to close all the schools and all the services during a very long period of time, which was not easy for anybody to support. Sometimes if the cultural activities, the concerts, the festivals, and everything was closed. So musicians sometimes leave out of the concerts they do, the festivals they do. If there is no event, people will stay like that. And the Malian government was not, able to give funds, to support all the musicians and all the artists of Mali. They just gave something like less than $200 during the whole COVID situation. And not everybody got that. They just selected some people, corruption in Africa is here forever. So they just selected some closer, parents or knowledge, friends. They gave that money to those people. But I can say 80% of the musicians didn't get anything from that funds. So it was very hard for musicians to live, and still now life is very hard, very expensive here. Like, we are going through a transitional period. There was a coup in Mali, and Mali was sanctioned by the ECOWAS, communities, financial and political sanctions. So the borders of Mali were closed. So no, product was coming from outside to Mali. So the prices raised, the prices tripled. Now the cooking gas, the 6 kilograms of the cooking gas was something like $2 or $3 US. But now it's like $20 US. And for a family, for the average Malian, people cannot afford to buy that. And with the environmental problem, people don't want to use charcoal because this is not ecological. People are going to cut down trees to make charcoal, and some other projects are fighting against, with the climate change. We have to take care of the environment we are living. So if you cut down the trees, while other people are planting trees, you guys are cutting down trees to make charcoal. So that's nonsense. So we are trying, as musicians, we also try to sensitize people about climate change, about the environmental problems. Yeah.
As we knew here in Brazil too, was we are still watching the episodes of this pandemic. The COVID-19 was a great problem of us. Many times I was imagining that we'll never meet each other again. For others, was a moment that many of our oldest was they died, and was a waste, not waste, how to say, I'm forgetting the word, but
yeah, they were, yeah, I can understand.
We lost many of us.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the oldest was the most problem, because while you are talking to me and to us, it's important to know and to be in front, to be present of a person who knows about the history, about and can put a light of a good feeling. Here in Brazil, we learned that the African culture, the principal pavement works around the oral culture. And it's important to register that oral culture must be distributed by some people who work for jelly, with a jelly, because it's not for anyone. We need people like you, and thank you so much already. I already say thank you, because the way you explain and the way you invite us to keeping looking for to keeping our culture. It's a different way. It's a special way. And that's what oral culture means. It's not for anyone to tell about culture. And I'm feeling this in this moment.
Thank you so much. And I'm very happy, and I have a very deep feeling of what is the ambition you guys have. We are going to join you, and we all going to join forces to make our dreams come true, and to come up to realize our ambitions.
And about music, I have a curiosity. It's possible to create how we can create new songs or tell a new histories, her stories, if you want, but it's possible to create, and you are always singing the same songs as a principal establishment. It's possible to come a new person and tell a history. I have a new song and I will play it in a choral. It's possible.
Yes. Yeah, it is possible. Yes, that's possible. We have a female singer, maybe next time. Or I have a video of her I'm gonna send you. So you're gonna listen to that. She's a jelly, and she's very young, but she has a very nice voice, and she can sing history of the ancestors, and say praises of Sunjata Keita, for instance. We can conclude by a choral note, a song dedicated to Sunjata Keita as the king of the empire of Mandi. But when you finish with all the questions, and we're gonna play that, and maybe we can conclude everything with that. Before that, you can ask, any questions the other people have, they can send you the questions, and then I can answer.
So,
Gisele.
Sorry, Moca, se você não me dá um tempo, eu vou longe. Venha, diga.
Sei, é porque eu só lembrei, né, porque essas conversas estão levando a gente tão longe, mas aí I remember that Quirina had a special role in the story of the Empire Manding because of the battle between Sunjata Keita and Sumoro Kanté. It was in Quirina. No,
Yes.
and in Quirina, the Seydou touched me very much because I played the Ngoni, and
Okay.
I'm very connected with the Donso culture.
Okay, good.
And you are a Donso, Seydou. You are from this ancestrality. This touch my heart.
I'm a Donso children. I'm from a Donso family, and I'm a Donso child.
Oh, this is amazing. Gisela?
Yes.
So please explain what's Donso.
Yeah, the hunter, o caçador.
The hunter. Donso is the hunter.
Yeah, and the hunter is very important. It has a role fundamental in the culture of Manding and lots of other African from West Africa. The
West
hunter
African
is
culture.
special, no?
Yes. Thank you, Mom, for that. Thank you for that. Yes. I try to explain that to Gisela. The hunters are, it's like an association, but they are the most important part of the Mande culture, because everything started by the hunter. Sundiata Keita was a hunter, and even Sumangulu Kante was a hunter. And that history of the battle of Sumangulu Kante and Sundiata Keita, Sumangulu Kante was the king of Soso. Soso is in between Mali and Mauritania these days, that part was called Soso. And the empire of Mande was part of, like I told you, was Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Burkina Faso, etc. So Sumanguru will try to invade it, the Mande Empire. And there has been 4 battles. The Mande king, or the Mande Mansa, Narefa Maga, who is the father of Sumanguru Kante, they failed all those battles. Then they called Sumanguru to come, Sundiata Keita to come, like he was the prince at that time. But when his father died, his brother took the power, who was who was older than him, but he was not strong enough. He was not powerful enough to face Sumanguru Kante's, soldiers. Then the Mande communities, called on Sundiata Keita to come, because he left his village, when his father died. He went to his mother's village. Then the Mande community called him to come because in the readers in Africa, we do readings. The marabouts, they tell the future. So those marabouts told Sundiata father that Sundiata would be the king of the Mande Empire one day, and he will be powerful over all the other, kings. So when the Marabout, told that to Sundiata's father, he kept that in secret. And finally, he let everybody know that when he died, Sundiata must come to the power just to control the invasion of Sumangulu Kante. But by jealousy, Sundiata's brother and Sundiata's aunt, his father's second wife, didn't understand that, didn't want Sundiata to be the king. And when his brother came to the power, Sumangulu invaded the Mande Empire, and the Mande Empire fought 4 battles. Then they called Sundiata, like the Marabout said, they have to call Sundiata to come to save the Mande Empire against Sumangulu Kante. That's how Sundiata came, and he fought against Sumangulu Kante, and that battle was in Quirina. That was organized in Quirina, because Sundiata's Marabout told him that if he wants to win against Sumangulu, he has to invite him in Quirina in a dual battle. No other soldiers, but Sumangulu has to come alone, and Sundiata has to come alone. And Sumangu was so proud of himself. He thought that he was so powerful. Nobody could do anything against him. He was very well protected by, his parish and all those things, and that was true. But Sunjata was more powerful, more protected. And then when they came together in Kirina, Sunjata won the battle. And that's why Kirina is a very important village in the Mande history. And that battle happened in 1235. 1235. That was in 13th century, Thank you, Mohamed, to remind me for the history. And the hunters, all the warriors at that period were hunters, were donso. You have to be a donso to be a warrior. So the donso is a very important part of the Mande culture.
Very important that Mo reminded it. So it's very important to know this part.
Yeah.
So Kirina is a place that we can find the warriors.
Yeah. And till now, if you want to have, there are some old men until now. If they do prayers for you, you go to the war or to any difficult situation. You come, they pray for you, and you will go. You will do that. You will come out of that difficult situation and with very, very successful. That's until now. So Kirina is a very important village in Mali. And also, all the population,
powerful.
All the 90% of the population in Kirina is jelly, griot. You see how powerful they are?
What? It's not a normal place. This territory has something special.
Okay, thank you.
That aggregates the most power.
Thank you.
The most power people in all the Mali.
Obrigado.
Yes. And that are, as I told, that are the most oldest people too. That the 90% Ijali and all the Jali are the oldest, the elders, like elders.
Yes. Yeah. They're the elders, and they are elders griot and younger griots, but there are also elder nobles and younger nobles. But the elders, and the griots, every time the griots are here just to remind, the noble class to the heroism the ancestors did in the past. Just to let them know that, nothing has been written. We have oral tradition, and that's from generation to generation. And my father has a griot, his son will be my griot. And my son, his son will be the griot of my son. That is like that. Every family has a griot, from your ancestors up to you. And till now, we have that in Mali. And anywhere your griot speak, you have to stop talking and listen to him. Yes.
Very important to know.
Yes.
Yes, we don't know, and we must to hear anything they want to say.
Okay.
Anything. We do the same here, and we can understand the value of this personality, this person.
Obrigado.
I would like to return to the beginning, but the beginning when we were not recording. because in this movement of to know who are the elders and to meet them, and that we are now meeting in this meeting, meeting each other. So that I would like to return to that moment when you told about that we are a big community in the world, in the diaspora, and it's important that we keep touching.
Yeah, that's right.
Why it's important? Mali, Brazil, Burkina Faso, Morocco, we are big diaspora. We are Afropolitans. We really are Afropolitans.
Yeah. And that's very important. In Mali, I'm going to talk about the respect for the elders in Mali, which is common maybe in Burkina Faso, in Senegal, in Guinea-Conakry, Guinea-Bissau, and in Gambia. The respect for the elder is very important. We believe that when you respect any person of the same age of your father or your mother, it's a blessing for you. And that creates a social cohesion in the communities. There is no problem, no war, if the youngest respects the elders. When, for instance, I see I'm not supposed to be seen, I'm taking an example, a very simple example, which is very common in the developed countries, like in Europe, like in America. Young people seeing with girls, young girls, boys and girls, seeing each other together, embracing or kissing each other in the street. You can never do that in front of an elder person in Mali. If you see an elder person, even if you are working with a girlfriend, you working hand in hand, you just leave the hand of your girlfriend and you separate, like making sure that you are not together, to make sure to make the elder person believe that you are not together. But if you are together, you just do like it's your sister, but not your girlfriend. That's one aspect. Another aspect is that you come to see an elder person, you must be the first person to say hello, to greet him. And the old person is coming with a package, is walking in the street, is not your father, is not your mother, but it's an elder person, is carrying something heavy, a package, something. You run toward him, you take the package, you escort him, and take him to his house. You bring the package to his house, and then put the package down, and he will bless you. He will write, okay, God bless you, son, long life to you. He will say blessing to you. And that's another aspect. You see what I'm saying? So the respect of the elder is very, very important here. And I'm telling you a story. I was in Morocco a week ago, and we were in the restaurant of the hotel. It was the dining time. And there were some white old persons. And it was the self-service, the food was the self-service, but you have to follow the line with your plate and you take. There were some old persons, I was before them, but when I look back behind me, I saw them like I'm an African man. So I said, oh no, I must not be served before this older person. Then I left the line and I gave them the right of the line, and they said, okay, go ahead, please. You are elder person. You must be priority to the elder person. Oh, but they didn't appreciate that because it's not their culture. They say, oh, he's saying that we are older. You know, they all look at me like that. Oh, are you saying that we are older? No, we are as younger as you. You know, don't say we are older. I say, okay, excuse me, I'm an African, and in Africa, we respect older persons like that. I must give you the time to be served before me because I'm supposed to be strong enough and I can stand longer than you are. But if that, you know, if I'm just hitting you with those words, excuse me, we are from different culture. You see, so if that was in Africa, the younger person will wait until, you know, the elder person gets served that, you know, and they get the food, then we young persons, we come to serve ourselves. You see? So it's very important. And also, anything we do, if we have an old person in the family, we go to ask advice from the elder person. If I want to get married, I go to see my uncle, the oldest person of the family. I'll say, okay, this is the girl. I want to marry the girls from this family. And then he will tell me to bring that girl, you know. And then one day I will bring the girl in our house. And when the girl comes in the house, in our house, the older persons will look at her from her toys up to the hairs. And they will do some studies, you know, psychological and physical studies. They will ask questions to the girl, the way the girls will respond, and the way the girls will look at them. Because here in Africa, when you speak to the elder person, you don't face to them, you don't look at them in face. You put your head down to speak to them. That's the most respect to them. But in the Western culture, you talk to somebody, you have to look him or her in the faces to talk to him. That's different in Africa. You talk to elder person, you don't look at them in face. So when I bring the girl I want to marry to my parents, the elder person would be sitting. Some of them would tell, hey, hi, my daughter, go and bring some water. I want to drink. So they will look at the girls, the movement the girls will do, going to take the water, bring the water, the way she will be working, the way she will be looking at them, you know, the elder person would study all of them, all of those actions, and then will tell you in conclusion, okay, my son, marry with this girl is a very good woman. Or don't marry this girl because she has such and such problem. She might not have children in the future. She might not live longer. Or you may die when you marry her. Both of you would die when you marry this one. Or you will never be happy in this marriage, both of you, you know. So that's how sometimes the elder persons are very important, because they have also learned that from the ancestors, and that knowledge is not written, but is spiritual.
Nice. You made me think about the spaces where these relations occur, because here in Brazil is the same, but I present these movements with the elders. We think inside a special space that is where we can practice our spirituality, that are the heritage from Africa, that here in Brazil we call by candomblé. It's a special place but it's linked for the spiritual, the practice of the religion. And I would like to know about how are the religions around there in Mali, and the influences of the culture of jelly, the influences of the other religions to keep this knowledge, and if any type of conflict between the religions.
Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, Christianism and Islam came to Africa, but they found that Africa had its own religion, its own beliefs, you know, and which was very powerful. Now, I can say that there is no conflict between those religions and the modern religions, because I call Islam and Christianism modern religions. But animism was the African religion, you know, especially Malian religion. Sunjata Keita, the empire of Mali, there was no Islamic, there was no Muslim, but people were living in harmony, and we were living in peace. And until now, of course, many people has been converted to Islam or Christianism, but believe me, they still keeping, you know, something in the pocket. That's our root. We will never forget our root.
Sounds like I can see here the same.
We have the root. We don't have to forget that. And the jelly sometimes say in the phrase, if you forget where you are coming from, you will get lost in the future because you will not know where you're going to. So we don't have to forget our roots. That's very important. You see, and that's in the culture, that's in the spirituality. So no matter how there is Islam here and there is Christianism here, we still have our ancestors' candomblé. Yes.
Yes, and here in my context of the musical context that we call by maracatu and the ventos de ouro. Ventos de ouro, it's like a gold winds, the winds of gold winds. And the maracatu, we are inside of rituals of the candomblé, and the most part of the group are women and young women. And it's interesting that when we are together inside of the candomblé, in the rituals, in the festivities, we have this power. We make a recall of power when we go to call to our ancestors. And sometimes, tell me.
Let me tell you something, Gisela. I usually watch documentaries about Brazil and about the spiritualities and some places where they are doing shrines. You know, some people have shrines and they are doing sacrifices. I can hear some words when they are doing those sacrifices, incantations. I can hear some words we are typically Bambara. You see, to tell you that we still have many things, you know, from Africa is still alive there, and they are still powerful. Never forget them. Never throw them away. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I know. We are working for Don't Let It Die. It's it's an important it's a central for us, and to me, when as I'm telling you, to walk with a group of young people that are practicing from the spirituality, and they are playing too. It's a connection that it's really important today. We are 2022, and we have many informations, and we have many negativities associated to this, and the more we access, more young girls, more young people come to us and say, I want to do it too. And I would like to reinforce that our compromise is not to let it die. We are keeping our ancestors alive with great pleasure. It's not just because we have to. It's because we feel that it's when we do it, we can grow up. We stay more powerful, more beauty, more movemented, and we travel. Keeping our ancestors alive, we can meet in presence each other, and we are doing it with a special como é que eu falo agora? Me emociono. I had an emotion that I forgot the word. but I guess you are understanding me. That the words that you heard, you keep hearing here in Brazil or in the other places. And I think that it's a Nyamakala. It's when I heard the first time I saw Nyamakala as a circulation. And I think that it's something around that. We are Nyamakala.
Nyamakala, yes, Nyamakala. That's the right word. And Nyamakala is a group of social class persons. Like I told you, Jelly is part of Nyamakala. Jelly is griot. The blacksmith, we call it Numu. In French, they call it forgeron. The blacksmith, that's the Numu. So in Bambara, the Jelly, Numu, Garange. Garange, those are the persons who work on the leather. Later they show leather, they make leather shoes, they make leather belts, those are the Garange, and we call them cordonnier in French. And the Fune also they are very very good in speech, they also praise, they talk, they tell stories too. They praise the heroes. So the Fune and the Gaulo, okay? The Gaulo also are part of Nyamakala. And the Mabo also is part of Nyamakala. So in Mali, you have Jelly is the #1 Nyamakala. You have the Numu, you have the Garange, you have the Mabo, the Fune, you have the Mabo, you have the Gaulo. Something like six or seven class group, social class.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will ask if more do you want to bring us? Please ask him something that Por favor, pergunte alguma coisa que está escondida. Não nos deixe esquecer. Mo, please don't let Seydou forget something that you know that's pretty important.
Oh
yes,
my
Mo, can
God.
you remind me any important aspect? I can give details. Maybe Mo knows a little bit. Just remind me if you know anything you didn't hear from me. Just remind me. I'll give you more details about it.
Oh my God, Seydou, I think everybody here must go there in Quirina to meet Seydou. Let's do it next year, inshallah. Inshallah.
Inshallah. I can't wait.
On va bien préparer.
Inshallah.
But I want to say, really, really, al-baraka. Thank you.
Merci.
Gratidão,
Thank you.
because here is very interesting, because the jelly, the gaulo, the griot, no, the macala, when it goes out of Africa and arrives here in Latin America, we receive this heritage, no, of the how to do the things, how to think, how to talk, how to play the music, and for us, you are a griot. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But I know that inside of the Malian culture, you must born in a griot family to be considered a griot. So for us, you are a warrior and you are a hunter.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm feeling so emotive, because you are a messenger. You are a messenger. You are a missionary. You have a mission. You are blessed. You are blessed from God and from these ancestors. Do you understand?
Thank you.
Because it's not any person that could do what you have done to your people. You are there in Quirina, which is a holy place. C'est sacré, quoi. C'est un local sacré. Quirina, c'est un local où tous les fils de Africa, de diaspora, we must go to Quirina, like in a peregrination. It's
like a pilgrimage, like exactly.
You understand? So, in name of us that we are here, I wanted to thank you for your work, because I know it's not easy. It's not easy, but and you are helping the tradition of the jelly keep going on in Mali, and this is not some little thing. This is big thing.
Thank you so much, Mo. Thank you. Obrigado.
Thank you very much. Obrigado. And we are, the time is almost finished, and I'm touched because I know, when I know Gisela, she touched me because she loved the Malian culture. So
thank you.
What is happening today, like you both meeting, we meeting together here, is like something very spiritual, very political, very real, even being virtual is very real.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I'm very touched. I would like to say thank you to you. Thank you to Mafe, to Mechi, to Gusta, to Asuka, to everybody. We are little here. We are not big, lots of people here, but I hear that the empty places are full of energy and presence.
Energy and spirit. Thank you.
So I hope that God keep giving you everything you need, everything your family need, and we are here to work together with you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mom.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It was so
Tem
nice
alguém
to
mais
talk.
quer falar, gente? E se alguém quer falar, por favor.
Seydou, Aniche,
Yeah.
entre qui? Merci beaucoup. Je
Merci.
suis Gousta. Ça va, Mali?
Merci.
Ça va,
Merci,
toi?
ça va ici. Oui, ça va.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, Coca-Cola. Tu t'appelles comment?
Merci. Coca-Cola, yeah. Merci.
Bah.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Bah. Merci.
Tu es fort, hein?
Merci.
Cambe café.
Cambe café. Oh. Bye. Okay. Hey, Kamalengoli. Ah, merci. Ça, c'est Mali. Eh, voilà. Super posé. Wow. This is the family. This is the family. I'm so happy to see you. Obrigado. Mucho obrigado. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Alguém mais?
Yeah.
I'm asking if someone wants to talk a little bit more. Quem mais que queira falar para Seydou?
Agradeço muito esta fala.
Prana para nós. Habla, tá? We have a person saying, I'm contagious. It was happy. They are giving thanks in the chat.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Também fico muito agradecida.
So,
compreendi todo o inglês.
She's trying to speak up. We can't hear you. A gente não está escutando você. Está muito baixo.
Agora?
Ela está falando?
Estou falando.
Agora.
Não estou ouvindo, não. Agora sim. Agora
Nossa,
sim.
eu só quero agradecer. Eu fico muito feliz da conversa e eu tenho que confessar que quase entendi tudo em inglês. Esse inglês eu gostei, eu compreendi por primeira vez na minha vida uma conversa quase inteira em inglês. Estou orgulhosa. Estou orgulhosa e agradecida com Seydou. Na verdade, fico muito contenta desta conversa entre vocês. Eu só gostaria uma primeira aula, sabe? Em 3 minutos, sei lá. O que ele, se você pode traduzir para ele, Gisela, o que eles falam para a primeira pessoa, sabe? Ele tem falado que na escola do Mali pode ir qualquer pessoa, de qualquer idade. E você fala, mesmo eu, que eu tenho muito, como vou aprender? Então, eu gostaria de saber o que eles falam a estas pessoas que têm muitos anos, que querem aprender e que dizem, não, eu não posso. Então, o que eles falam? O que eles dizem? Você pode, pega este instrumento, começa. Quais são as 2 notas que eles... É isso, qual é essa primeira aula para encorajar as pessoas de qualquer idade a tocar um instrumento?
Ótimo, Fernanda. Vou perguntar. Fernanda came with a question. Because when in that moment when I asked, even me, that I'm an old person, I can go to École de Musique and I can learn to play an instrument. And you told, yes, anybody can come. And she wants to know, when an old person arrives and say, no, I can't, I will never learn. So what the words, or how do you empower an old person to play an instrument, to begin, how to empower, what you say for the first time when a person come and say, I can't.
When the person come and say, I can't, we will say, you are never too old to learn. So whenever you like something, you can do it. One is never too old to learn. So with the power of music, when we say that, when we say to a person that you are never too old to learn, and in addition to the power of music, we just play something for him or her, and that will attract the person to come to the instrument. You see what I'm saying? But the first thing to make the person comfortable is to make her sure that she or he is never too old to learn. We can learn anytime in our age. Yes.
Thanks. Entendeu, Fernanda?
Yeah.
Essa é o diálogo que não precisa de tradução até no inglês. Mas entendeu que é isso, né? A gente nunca é velho para aprender e a força da música ajuda nesse processo de superar a barreira da idade. Basicamente, essa é a resposta.
Isso. Então, toquemos música para finalizar e agradecer este encontro tão maravilhoso.
Isso, sim, vamos tocar. Seydou.
Yes.
We are in the end. We must finish.
Okay.
That's the moment. I think it's too late over there, but was a great pleasure. I don't have words as Mo was connecting this meeting. I couldn't sleep without thinking about this moment, and I'm so glad that I'm alive to receive this information, to stay here in front of you guys in this moment. And I've survived to COVID-19 to be present here. And
you can fight against COVID-19.
No, and it's a great pleasure to receive all this information. We never too old to learn. We never to learn, and even more when we are learning information that wasn't washed. These informations that you are bringing to us are coming from the matriz, are coming from the mother. And it's pretty important to receive and to keep in touch with all the productions of you. And thank you so much. Thank you. There's no thanks to say. So to finalize, to end, let's play. Let's end with music to empower our communities around the world to make the power travel for anyone who needs.
No problem. But before playing music, I want to know, is she satisfied with the response I gave?
Sorry?
Is the lady satisfied with my response?
Fernanda, você está satisfeita com a resposta?
Com certeza. É uma resposta muito encorajante. Muito grata.
It's interesting. She gives thanks. Absolutely, she liked.
Thank you. Okay, now we are going to play this song. dedicated to Sunjata Keita and all its ancestors and descendants. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bubaka. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Let's wait for tomorrow, the other days of Nyamakala, this big festival. It's just it was just the beginning and it was amazing. And thank you, Seydou. Thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice time and enjoy the rest of the festival. Okay.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Obrigada. Olha os
Obrigado.
links do evento aqui no chat.
Thanks.
Muito, muito obrigada, gente.
Thanks.
Eu estou pensando que sou eu que vou encerrar a gravação.
Muchas gracias.